Today's the day. You know what today is, right?
What's today?
It's the day that we're going to practice sidekicks. We're going to do a comprehensive video here teaching Vince how to throw a good sidekick. Vince has got I'd say you got like a 4 out of 10 on your sidekick.
If that.
See, Marie went like this behind the camera, but nah. I'm critical, but I'm telling the truth. So let me demonstrate what a sidekick looks like on Bob. We'll go over some variations. Then I'm going to get Vince warmed up here because you got to warm up the hips, warm up the legs before you start throwing those kicks. But let's do it. This is what it looks like on Bob. Nice. I actually didn't think I was going to knock him over. It's filled with cement too. So what we're going to do is, let's go into some stretches here. So my personal favorite stretch to do is a side lunge or a Cossack squat, where you're going to just widen up your stance. Your toes are going to face slightly outward, and you're just going to drop down to your right, come up, drop down to your left, and you're going to do this about 10 times. And then after your 10th one, then you're just going to go straight across and keep your hips as low as possible. Yeah. Because the idea here is you can kind of see that he's looking like he's throwing a side kick. Right? Like if this is the leg that's extended, he's going to be hitting with the blade edge of his foot or the heel. The chamber is on the opposite leg, so it's a good way to get the motions down, warm up the muscles, warm up the hips, and everything that we're going to be doing when we throw this. And then exactly, now he's going to keep his hips low. I like to think about low ceilings. He doesn't want to bump his head on the ceiling, so his head stays low, and he just goes side to side. And this is something that you can do for 30 seconds to a minute. There's other warm-ups that you can do. I'm going to move through this rather quickly. But as we're going over some key points here, Vince, I want you to just grab your shin and pull your knee into your chest. And I want you to focus on turning so that the heel is facing towards the target. So you're just going to rotate here and do this a couple times. You can hang on to, put your other hand on a wall to hold for balance. But the idea here is a tight chamber. Chamber, I would say, is probably the key point that a lot of people forget to do when doing the side kick. They'll go right into the kick itself, and it'll look like that. There won't be that like piston effect where you're really shooting it through for the side kick itself. Now, the next point I want to talk about is 3 things to keep in mind when throwing the kick. First, I want to see what Vince's kick looks like, and then I have a feeling these three key points are going to help him out. All right, so whatever variation of a side kick that you know. All right. I just want to see you hit a couple to the body here.
All right.
Good. Excellent. Uh-huh. Awesome. All right. Vince is covering all 3 that I'm going to talk about here. It's because Vince is a Fight Tips vet here, and he's been taking lessons from Coach Shane. No, so first right off the bat was great impact, and that's because Vince is hitting with the heel. The number one thing that I see with beginners is they hit with either the ball of the foot, and that's because the toes are facing up, or they just like kind of miss it completely because they're not used to striking with the heel. But that's how you get that thudding effect. That's how you can crash into the ribs, break ribs, or just do damage to, especially if I'm in southpaw, you can hit the liver or other organs. So the way that we can do that, and to force not the toes being up, but the toes being down and jutting the heel down, is thinking consciously, I have to face the toes down, face the knee down, and even thinking about it a little bit more like a donkey kick, right? Like a mule kick, and I'm kicking behind me. Because when I think side kick, and if my hips aren't used to this, my toes are probably going to go up naturally because of the lack of flexibility. But if I'm thinking of a mule kick, like a donkey kick, and I'm kicking behind me, bang, then when I make contact, now the toes and knee are facing down. This is what's going to jut the heel out and get that strong impact. So keeping that point in mind, I want to see how that lands. Yeah, that's it right there. Bang, good, one more. Ooh, excellent. And this is one that I learned from Wonderwood, Stephen Thompson, when I went down to his gym in South Carolina, is he focuses on pointing the heel right off the bat at the opponent. So right here, he chambers it like this, whereas I've been taught to pull the knee up high and then aim it out. But his first cue is aim the heel at the target, at the opponent. And the reason being is because he said if someone tries to jam you up and step in close, I still can hit. I may not get full extension, I may not get full power, but this is still going to hurt. I can still jam you up and hit you here. Whereas if I chamber the leg up straight like this and you step in and jam me up, I can't extend my leg, right? I'm not going to be able to hit him with the heel. So aim the heel first, then when he steps in, bang, I can extend it if I have the range, or if he jams me up, I still can bang, stab it in here. Think of it like a straight punch, right? Like this is where all the power is going to be at the end of my punch. But if Vince jams me up, I can still get something on this, and I can still hurt him with a punch that doesn't have full extension. All right, the next point, which is crucial, and this is going to require flexibility, not in the hips, but in the side body, and it's keeping the head over the support leg. Not only does this give you more power, but it gives you more balance for your next attack. So a lot of people will throw the kick and they go like this, and they lean all the way away. And then now they have to bring their head back up to get back into position. So if, let's say I throw that against Vince and he steps to the side and makes me miss with this kick. So I'm here, now I'm in a terrible position here. I have to be thinking 3 steps ahead. And in order to be in a good position there, what Vince was doing correctly is keeping his head over that support leg. So when he throws this kick, and now he can fall right back into a strike from there. He's still in the fight. Whereas if he leans back and does it, I can evade and step back in. I have the better positioning. So what you need to do, and you'll feel this in your side body, is if you throw the side kick here, Vince, and you hold it in place, now I want you to really like stay tall with your upper body. And you're gonna feel that skin fold right here, and you're gonna start to feel the obliques fire up right there. So what I do is, I'll hold onto a wall or to a pole, I'll bring my knee up, right, and then just start to feel that skin fold, feel the obliques being worked, engage the support leg hip, and then I'm just gonna do 10 kicks straight out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Focusing on keeping the head upright. Then from there, I do speed kicks, bang, 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 bang. Then from there, I'll do pulses up and down, 10 of them, and then I just do the static hold. And I'll just hold it right here, focusing on keeping this strong, and then that'll be the end of that drill. Now the last point is that that good chamber we covered. We covered the obliques, we covered the toes down, the different variations of the kicks. So the one that Vince was doing was sort of a stepping kick, and that's going to be the easiest one to do. So Vince is throwing the lead leg kick. He's going to walk his rear leg behind. He chambers and kicks. Bang,
and going all the way behind.
Yep, and then face that heel. Bang, and kick. Yep. So that's a stepping side kick. Let's do it one more time. Ooh, excellent kick. Next can be very similar to that, but it's a hop. So it's a hopping side kick with a pendulum step. So now his rear foot's going to replace the lead foot. And you're going to hop in to the kick, exactly. And then the next one, I don't know if you've done this, but a pivot side kick. So you're actually going to be kicking with your rear leg. So instead of stepping or sliding and kicking with the lead leg, you're coming up, turning over, and then kicking with that foot.
Going here.
Yeah, try that one again.
It's awkward.
Yeah, think about linear strikes coming straight down the center. Ooh, good. Already start to face the heel too, so here, then extend out.
Yeah, I feel like with these I've trained so much on one side, well only so much on one side, and not so much on the left side. So doing that is just same motions as before, right?
Yeah.
So I'm stepping through, coming up,
That's
turning.
it. Yep.
Up here.
Yeah, and you might be turning your chest a little too early. Keep your chest facing me until the kick extends, then turn it away.
So this was like almost forward as if we're here.
Yep.
And I'm turning through. Okay.
Yep. And then pivot and kick. That's already much better. Do that one more time. Excellent. So the difference between the first one and that one is the first one is the lead leg, right? I can either step into the kick, I can pendulum step hop into the kick, or I can just lift and slide. So this one, maybe he might be a little bit tighter, it might be rushing in, and I just bang. I lift this leg up, the support foot slides across the ground, and I strike. The pivot kick is going to be with the rear leg, and a great way to set this one up is with roundhouse kicks, right? I'm going bang, I'm hitting a roundhouse kick, I'm hitting a leg kick, then it looks like a roundhouse kick, I chamber it, bang, then I follow through, and Vince goes flying through the wall. Exaggerate that chamber a little bit more. Yeah, now just flow into it. There you go.
It's right in there.
That was a little low.
A little
low.
Oh, hey. Whatever, Bob.
You don't mind.
I have a question. What do you do with your hands? I feel like, normally when we're kicking, I kind of swing my arm through, so I have a natural tendency to want to do that and then keep my hand up here too to protect, but this is super far away. It's like there's no way he's going to hit me here anyway, so what do I do?
Yeah, so I wouldn't overthink it. I will say that different people have different preferences when it comes to what to do with the arms. The one reason why I don't like swinging it this way is because that assists and is a counterweight to circular kicks. Mm-hmm. And since this is linear, we want to go in straight forward. If I swing my arm out this way, it may divert some of my energy to go around and not straight into the target.
Yeah.
So instead what I like doing is either extending my arm out in a linear fashion so that the kick also goes that way, out like that, You wanna give that one a go? Yeah, and think about like blinding them with your hand. So, yeah. So like track it as the foot extends, the arm extends. Good. And then another option is I'll just shoot my arm down like past my butt as I do it. So I'll go there. It kind of just extends a little bit out towards my hip. Yeah. Ooh. Straight out, straight out. Yeah. But I would say my preferred and the one that I do most often is I lock my arms out at like a 90-degree bend and I turn my upper body into like one whole piece. And this way I can get most rotation with the shoulders for the hip rotation here. So let's like that and give that one a go. Ooh-wee. Yeah, one more. Ooh-wee. After watching these, I gotta bump up Vince's score from a 4 to like, I'd say like a 6. I'd say like a 6. I mean, even mine, I'd say like an 8 or a 9. I got room for improvement, but not bad, my friend. Any questions on any of this criteria or tips when throwing these sidekicks or setups or anything like that?
No, I really like it. I think it feels weird to kind of turn my hips away. I feel like I'm giving away my back too much. Is it really just timing it correctly or?
Yeah, I would say that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they don't turn the chest away. Asking a Muay Thai guy to do this who's very squared and is used to throwing teeps where almost the toes are facing out and you have to go 180, if not more, like 200 degrees down is really tough on the legs, but one cue that helps them is turning the chest away. When you turn the chest away, it is a timing thing. It's going to help with the torque. It's like shoulder rotation, but I still keep the eyes looking over the shoulder at you. So when I fire it off, my chest might be facing Bob, who's still laying on the ground over there, but I'm still looking over my shoulder, looking at the target. Not ideal if you cut an angle to your right, right? Because now you got to my backside, you get the advantageous angle. But I mean, that's the game of chess that you play with striking. It does happen to be a linear strike, so if someone can negate that threat down the center and come around the sides, that is how you beat the side kick.
I got another question. When you throw it, am I rechambering after? Like, am I landing and just coming straight down, or does that just depend on where the position is of my opponent? So
I like to think about it in 3 different steps. It's the chamber, it's the kick or the extension or the stick, and then the rechamber. And the reason why I think the rechamber is so important is because it looks good. No, I'm just kidding. It's because it does help you get into better position. It pulls your balance back. Think about like the ballerina who extends their leg and then pulls it in. It brings your center mass back to...
That was pretty good.
You see that? I always wanted to learn ballet. Van Damme knows ballet. Lomachenko trained ballet. But yeah, bringing your center mass back, or bringing your mass back to center, right? I extend this kick. I don't want to fall forward into a counter shot. Instead, I want to be able to fire off the kick, rechamber, and now I can put this foot anywhere. Maybe I want to put it across center line so I can spin into something else. Or maybe I want to throw the side kick, land squared, and now I can go into a more Thai style. So where that kick lands is essential for your next move, and you're going to have more options readily available if you rechamber it rather than kicking and then just falling into your opponent's range.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. All right, guys, there you have it. A couple of drills that you can practice now on your own, working on hip flexibility, right? Warm it up properly. Then you're going to go through the drills where you put your hand on a wall, and then keeping those different cues in mind being turn the toes down so you can jut the heel forward, keep your head over the support leg, and then make sure that you're chambering that kick before the kick. Then when you get full extension, think about driving that heel down the pipe, as they say. And what's that metaphor mean? It means if you throw a punch down the pipe, you don't want to hit any edges of the pipe. You don't want to go up, down, left, or right. You want to go straight down and straight back, straight down the pipe. And that's what your heel is doing on the kick. And then, of course, rechambering it so that you have your next position. And you have different variations to practice with that. So it can be the hopping, the sliding, the stepping, or the pivot side kick. There you have it. The side kick, baby. It works. And I guess now would be a good time to clear up why I say side kicks don't work, because I don't actually believe that. But someone commented once, Shane, you need to stop teaching bogus techniques because side kicks don't work. I think that was started by a guy who never learned how to properly defend against them. So he was like, I'm just going to convince the world they don't work. Then they'll stop throwing them. Then I don't have to learn how to defend.
He's just salty.
They're all salty. The trolls, the haters, kick them with side kicks. That's the moral of the story right there. Thanks for tuning in. We have a whole course to incorporate different types of striking styles: Taekwondo, Muay Thai, boxing, working sidekicks in with your Muay Thai on the hybrid striking course that's available on fighttips.com exclusively. There's a 2-week free trial down below. And Vince is on there, I'm on there. We got people from all over the world on there. Great community on there, so we would love to have you. Until then, I'm Shane.
Vince the Anomaly.
Fight Tips for the underdogs.